Good evening. Welcome to my whiskey den. I am not Patrick, the Rambler, and but we still got Mike. So anyway, want to give a quick shout out to Patrick. He is not feeling well tonight, could not join us for this, but we're looking forward to a fun night with you guys, trying out some new whiskeys to us. So with
Yes.
that, let's kick it off, guys.
Let's get into it. 1, 2, 3.
All right, welcome to my whiskey den. We're ready to kick off with some tasting some good whiskeys from St. Louis, which I think, Mike, you have a little bit of an issue there with that area, don't you?
I don't know if I got an issue. No, I don't have an issue. I had made a road trip to the St. Louis area to meet up with a whiskey mule and stop at our friend Gary's at Wood Hat, which I highly recommend that everyone stops at Wood Hat and other places. But finally got to pick up some of these St. Louis spirits that I do not get in Kansas City. So we've had people talking about especially Stumpy's and Adam Stumpf and what a cool operation, and they're I think, as he has said, it's a very much a bootstrap organization. So really excited to get into those with you guys and talking about him. But still 630 because I'd only gotten to try a couple of their things, and one thing that I think is really cool is they do like a unique release every month. And and I think there's for this month I think is tonight, and then they do on June 30th, so 630, they do a normal some kind of event. Now, I'm assuming it will be back up and operational this year, but we got a couple of unique ones where it's still 630. Was perusing the store shelves, because unique is good. Trying to get something that's local to the area is always good, but when you see bottled in bond sorghum whiskey, I was all in. Even though it is this little tiny squat bottle, which as you can see, I kind of like it. A bottled in bond sorghum whiskey, count me in. I'm good. So
let's talk about that for a second, because sorghum, I've read some articles recently. There's a little bit of debate as to where exactly it falls within spirits category. Because
and I thought that was interesting too, because this actually it's labeled as a bottled in bond straight whiskey.
Yeah.
So it qualifies under that, and it is one of their special releases that they put out, which they do other releases on there, but they do. Let's try. Where was what they had on here? It is. They don't give the age other than aged at least 4 years.
Right.
And but yeah, it is. It's pretty interesting. I don't know if you've gotten into for nosing it yet, but it is. I was not disappointed. I was actually pleasantly surprised, because I was expecting a visit from our old friend Wilford Brimley on the nose when we first started going, but that is not the case.
Yeah, because that's one of the things you can use. You can really use the whole plant in distilling, the stalk all the way up to the grain heads. And I'm assuming if they're labeling this a whiskey, they're using the grain heads on this. Because the stalks, it can be, there's some people have classified it almost like a rum, spirit specialty. Yeah. So I know it can be ground up and pressed almost like sugar cane in a way. So interesting, but the sorghum I have dealt with, there's a sweetness to it, but there's also an earthiness to it. I'm not getting that earthiness at all on this. No. This is just, it's sweet, but it's not like maple syrup or anything, but there is a rum-like character to it too.
Very much. And I grabbed my notes on this that I had. They do, the sorghum is grown, or they get it locally or local to them in Sikeston, Missouri. And the nose on, like you said, it's not. It's a little rummy. It's a little cola to it, but
yes,
I'm more surprised at the fact that this is sorghum, because it doesn't seem like it is. Like, if you just give it to me and said, here, this is sorghum whiskey, try it, smell it, I have preconceived notions of what this is.
Yeah. There's a nice big A little bit of a brown sugar to caramel note going on.
Yeah, and it's, to me, all those notes, like the brown sugar and the cola, everything is it noses like when it's being cooked.
Yeah. I got a little bit of a grassy note going there too.
And you get like smell like fig Newtons. But rum does come in there and vanilla too.
Yeah,
Man,
I think
you know what? I would love. I should make cookies with this. I wonder how well this would do for a vanilla substitute.
Oh, I bet it's fantastic.
Man,
Yeah, I think that combination of that cola and vanilla note that comes off, that gives it that aged rum
yeah.
note to it, or what reminds you of that a little bit.
There's a tropical fruit too, but it like comes and goes.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, I was very excited when I saw this on the shelf. I was excited.
Right.
It's like, this sounds great, and totally not disappointed. Clearly, because look what I've been doing to that bottle. But this is really cool, and if they're doing a lot of releases like this, that's awesome. I mean, when you can put out a lot of really fun releases and put out specialty things, which they do have a whole bunch of which this is under their rare release series.
Yeah.
That tells me that Still 630 is having some fun, which I think is great.
The only other sorghum whiskey I have seen hits shelves here locally, and that's from our friends at Highwire. They do a sorghum whiskey. And I believe they're sourcing theirs out of Tennessee, out of a farm in Tennessee, if I remember correctly. But okay, now I feel like this is starting to open up a little bit. I'm getting a little bit more of an earth note to it that I typically think of when I'm smelling sorghum.
Did you see Mitch's comment about sorghum?
About the how it's being allowed to be bottled as a whiskey.
Yeah.
Pull that up here.
There's some good comments. I've not been looking at the comments because I've been sticking my nose in this whiskey.
Right.
I'm being a bad host. Patrick will be ashamed of me.
Yeah. It's gonna sick the gimp on you if you don't watch out.
It is Gimp night. Oh yeah,
That's pretty good.
it is. It's like a rum finished whiskey, but not one of the obnoxious ones that I've had where it's
Right.
They've done it to hide something or what. It's just the dark fruit that comes out on it and the vanilla. I mean, it's a dessert without being too sweet. It's not sugary, saccharine sweet.
Right. It's not cloying in any way.
No.
There's a nice bite that comes right on the sides of the cheek and the tongue right there.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely leans more like a rum on the palate than it does a whiskey to me. And I get a little bit more of the earthy notes coming in on the palate than I do the nose, which kind of contrasts and plays nicely with that sweetness. So there's a little bit of a caramel, a sweet oak, the vanilla, almost like a vanilla extract. Like you said, the dark, trying to nail this down. There's a specific fruit that I'm tasting here.
Yeah, I got to pour a little bit more. I was trying to be good, but it's Friday.
It is Friday. And I think it's
Friday.
been a week for both of us. So
It has been a week, but I still got to get through tomorrow. I got a graduation party to deal with.
yeah.
To deal with. That sounds bad.
Speaking of
Graduation party has to
congratulations,
happen.
congratulations to your family and your
Yes.
daughter. Yeah,
Yeah, the last one is through.
yeah.
It is rummy or rum like, but the dark fruit and the cinnamon, the dark fruit and the cinnamon are stronger to me than the sugar and the sweetness of it overall.
Mm-hmm.
And it being 100 proof does not drink like it's 100 proof.
No.
And I regret that I did not get more of this, but it's probably for the best, because this little baby here was, I don't know, it was like $45-$50.
That's
So-
not bad for a specialty like this.
Considering what the
Yeah.
but you know, that goes a long way. I'm very glad that I had it. I have zero regrets about that whiskey, and it's been a lot of fun to drink.
You know what? There was a slightly bitter note that I was getting off of this, and now I know what that cinnamon is really starting to pick up on the mid to back end for me. Really starting to pop, and right with that cinnamon is nutmeg. And I'm sitting here as I was sipping this, I was thinking, I would love to have this in an eggnog come the holiday season. This would be a great substitute for rum or a bourbon or something in an eggnog. And then that's when it was like eggnog, nutmeg, boom, I'm getting that nutmeg note right there. Kind of right in with the cinnamon.
The empty glass of this, it's very grain forward in the glass,
Mm-hmm.
which I like. I like that a lot. I mean, I guess it's we are. I don't want to say jaded, and I don't want to say spoiled, but you know,
Right.
we've been having so much stuff that is grain forward. It's so pleasing to have that it's not. I'll say it. It's not Buffalo Trace. It's not something where you're just like, yeah, it's bourbon. It's
Right.
like, this is unique. It's different. And man, it just
Where you're not
smells like
tasting.
you're cleaning up. You're cleaning up from making a really fantastic pie.
Yeah.
I'm all in. That is good. And we do have 5
It
of
is.
them on tap for tonight. And the dump glass is the dump glass is already working, and it's melding together.
Pro tip, folks: drink lots of water,
Yes.
especially on a night like this.
Clean your palate. Keep yourself clean.
Yeah.
Don't be like Patrick.
Hydrate. Don't eat a pound of bacon.
Well, or do. You know,
Or
there's
maybe
not-
you should. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with a pound of bacon.
All right.
I ran across something saying that I was cleaning stuff out, and I don't remember who said it, where it came from, whatever, but it said whatever bacon and butter won't cure, you don't need to have fixed.
That sounds appropriate.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
All right. So we're
ready
going to
to
move on number 2 to the Still 630 Rally Point Rye, straight rye whiskey, 90 proof.
Okay.
It has won its fair share of accolades. It was named Best Category by ADI. I cannot imagine ADI is like some of those other ones where everybody gets an award. We'll say no. I mean, if everybody likes your stuff, it's all good. But I mean, if you're going in there and 90% of you are getting an award, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It kind of, I don't know. That's almost a subject for a whole nother day to tackle all by itself. Talking about the award shows and specifically a certain one and how that all works.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you're curious what ADI, and it does have the sticker. I'm assuming there's something to it because they do have
Yeah.
a sticker on it because of ADI. But yeah, I mean, awards are just funny. It's kind of, if you didn't get double gold, there's really no reason for you to say it because double gold
Right.
is really the only one that says that you're unanimous. But That's
Hey,
not how that works.
Yeah, you see people with the labels. They got silver, they got bronze.
Yeah.
This just smells
All right.
classic rye on
Yes,
the
it
nose.
does.
Very classic rye. Mitch, working on those meat sweats.
Not all heroes wear capes, Mitch.
That's right. I don't doubt it. It sounds like a heart attack on a plate right there, buddy.
You're like the Superfans sketch.
Right? Chris
He had
Farley,
another
rest his
heart
soul.
attack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
lot of-
I mean, this does a beautiful rye, but there's a lot of caramel on the nose too.
There's a lot of caramel and there's a good chunk of dill coming off.
And I know, well, our friend Kevin, I think Kevin has had, Kevin, well, he had talked about Rally Point before I'd gotten this, and I think he's a fan of it. And I've heard him and I've heard a few others talk about Rally Point prior to getting this one, and
What I'm getting off it right now is like toasted rye bread with honey.
oh, okay, I can see that.
A little bit of blackberry.
And for, this was like, I don't know, $35 or something for this bottle.
Right?
And for the nerds like us, it is batch 72, bottle 23.
All right.
But for, I mean, we're not talking about an 8-year-old rye whiskey. But there's none of the youthfulness of the rye, and it's 90 proof, so it's not high proof to hide anything either.
That's interesting. Looking forward to you getting on the palate on this one. So that
Doesn't feel like a rye.
it doesn't. Except then it does. Which is weird to say, but from what I'm nosing, I had this expectation of one thing, the way it hits the palate, but it comes across
Yeah.
really different.
Yeah, expecting that like the rye where it just kind of rushes out,
Yeah.
and it does not.
There's a really light citrus note that I would compare to almost like a watered down lemonade coming across. There's honey. There's a little bit of the kind of the rye dill, a little eucalyptus there. Do they say what kind of rye they're using? Particular?
You know what? I will try to look at that. Actually, let me look at the bottle too. This is, man, as it comes through, it builds up. Second,
Yep.
third sip. It does not say. I'll pull up their, so we can pull up their site. But that is, you could go through a bottle of that very quick. I can tell you that.
Yeah. It for 45, it really drinks easy. It doesn't feel very oily.
No.
And then I'm getting a lot of floral notes coming off on that now. Orange blossom, some honeysuckle are really popping for me on the mid palate there. It's interesting. This is a fun rye to sip. I'm enjoying
Yeah.
this.
I think it would. The flavors are subtle. I think they would. I'd be really interested to well, like a cocktail that I normally did. Let's say put Pikesville in. I don't think I would do this because, Pikesville's doing certain things in your cocktail, and you
Right.
maybe not adjusted things because you're using Pikesville, for God's sakes. But I think with a cocktail with the flavors that are on this and being subtle, I think you can have a lot of fun with this. But man, sipping that, sip that sucker all damn day.
Right.
That's a nice drinking rye.
It really is. I love there's a little bit of a quality to it, especially coming off the finish, where I feel like I taste a slight youthfulness to it, but it's in a good way. It's not sharp. It's really, for a whiskey, it's really well put together. It feels soft. It feels rounded overall, especially for a rye. It's not anything really spiky, except in that, for me, that mid where all of a sudden these floral notes kind of take off. But that's not a bad thing at all, and it's just got some really interesting turns to it. I like the way this is layered and structured.
Soft is a really
throughout,
good way to describe it.
It is soft.
I like that. It's not weak. It's soft, but it's
Right.
not weak. Yeah, that's a very nice drinking rye. Good on. Yeah, still 630 rally point.
Yeah,
Well done. That's fun. I like that.
good on you guys. And yeah,
Good
if you're
job,
out there,
St. Louis.
there you go. You did something right. Even though I was severely disappointed in your arch the first time I drove through there. I remember growing up as a kid, seeing pictures of this thing. You have this idea of this massive arch coming in, and the first time I'm driving out west and I drive through St. Louis and I come up on the river and there's the arch, and that my first reaction was, that's the arch?
Yeah.
Dang, that's small. But, oh well.
Right.
That's well done. So that's a good rye to seek out.
Yes, it is. I was trying to catch up on the chat and see if there's anything. Yeah, Kevin had a good comment. Yeah, 90 proof makes it too easy to drink too fast. Abso-freaking-lutely.
Kevin, that's a pretty good analogy there, a lemon dum-dum sucker, because it's got that kind of soft, lemony, like I said, almost like watered down lemonade. It's not too sweet, and it's not overly citrus or lemon oil like sometimes you get off of a rye. You get those really strong lemon oil notes. Yeah.
All right. Time to water up.
So
I'd like to make a sticker for this thing at some point, so it says Octomore, just so people will think I'm chugging Octomore like a boss.
I could just send you this, and you could turn that into a water bottle. You sit there.
The first time you drop it, you're like,
Right.
no. All right.
So we're going to change distilleries here.
We're going into Stumpy Town. So this is not in St. Louis proper, but outside in Illinois, Columbia, Illinois. I don't know whether you would classify it as East St. Louis or not.
Right.
As everybody knows, East St. Louis made famous by National Lampoon's Vacation. Roll them up. So this is Stumpy Spirits, and it is a grain to glass operation to my knowledge.
Yeah.
And up until very recently, all of their bourbons were single barrel releases. But he has in the last I don't know if it's this calendar year, but let's just say in the last 6 months he's doing batching. I think it's because he's up to that. And Adam Stumpf is, I believe, was an engineer. Well, probably still is an engineer. He built his own still, which has served him very, very well. And he has now got another. He's got another still that I don't think he made this one, but I think this is an old still from like the 20s or 30s that he's got up and operational. That he's going to be making all of his spirits off of. But he is.
Okay.
But this is one of the last ones that were still batches, and this is single barrel number 105. This 90 proof Stumpy's Old Monroe single barrel bourbon, pot distilled.
Gotta love that pot distill. There we go.
It's a nice hefty bottle too. I like the feel of that bottle.
This one, I love this nose so far.
I do too. I like that.
Immediate impression. Get that classic, what I've now grown to consider a classic craft nose, which is not green wood and young
No.
untamed spirit. It's that grain forward style with a lot of flavor. My immediate first impression was this is a cinnamon oatmeal cookie.
Oh yeah, definitely the oatmeal. A lot of that thick oatmeal.
Yeah.
I was thinking like warm oatmeal in the morning. It's just thick.
Yeah. A little bit of raisins in there. And brown sugar is just dense.
Yeah, and the smell, like when you're making bread and it's rising,
Right.
and you just get that residual smell. Yeah, it's decently oily too.
It is. And yeah, fresh baked wheat bread with honey. A little honey and butter.
I just read Mitch's comment
All right, which one?
about his experience with the arch.
Arch. Oh. Old Man Bay, we are on to Stumpy's, the Old Monroe single barrel, barrel 105.
He probably knows them fairly well.
Yeah. And for those of you jumping in and you're wondering where Patrick is, he is at home, resting and recovering. Has not been feeling well this week, so Mike and I have the charge tonight.
He's at home in the sling.
Or is he just? Or is he in the box?
I said the visual of 9 to 5 where they got the boss rigged up to the to the garage door opener,
Right.
in a harness. Yeah. Pat's kids hitting the button, making them go up and down. It's been a long week, folks, and it's a Friday night. You know what happens on Friday nights whenever we do one of these.
Release the gimp. Man, I could hang out in this nose for a while.
Yeah.
It's
I need to pay attention.
it just feels yeah. I mean, it just feels like home, like fresh home. You're in the kitchen, you're baking, you got cookies going on, you got fresh baked bread going on.
The nose on this for people that are anyone. Well, for some of the people that I know have had this, I know that I know Kevin has had it. Dave's probably had this thing too, or at least an iteration of it. This is I think a really good example of when someone turns their nose up at craft whiskey because they've had something that was too green, too young.
Right.
The wood notes are bad because they kiln dried it. This one's like, just smell this. Okay. Just smell this one. Now you tell me where craft whiskey has a problem.
Right.
Cause this is just like spot on. There's no oddity I think that you could pick out and say, that's not right. Nose is just right.
Yeah, no, there's really not. There's not anything that jumps out that smells off. There's not a big ethanol hit. There's no Brett. There's no funky farmyard. It's clean and it's really rich. It's out, I definitely describe this nose as dark. Just delicious. All right. I've been nosing long enough. It's time to get into this.
Yeah, I went in. Okay, I don't know well, I'm sure I could use better language, but I'm not going to. That is a shit ton of flavor for 90 proof. For a 90 proof craft whiskey, that's a shit ton of flavor in there.
Absolutely. There's a little bit of a chalk, a little bit of minerality coming in on the back end towards the finish too. provides a nice balance to the rich brown sugar notes and the cookie notes that are there, the cinnamon.
I don't think that they're doing anything necessarily unique with the barrels, but you get a flavor on there almost like it's toasted.
Mm-hmm. Kind of that toasted wood, toasted oak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, the finish on that's just got a nice. It's just steady. It's not the the long proof you're going to get or finish you're going to get from a higher proof. It's just flavor. It's just like a layer of flavor that just runs right across.
It's flavor. It's slightly. I get a little bit of a drying tannic note to it, and it's at the same time it's kind of creamy. It reminds me of if you're smoking like a Connecticut wrap cigar, you get that creamy, smoky note on the finish after you're done. That's what that reminds me of a little bit.
Yeah, I like that a lot. A little waxy too, which I like.
It is. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Kevin said thinks number 3 or 4 char, medium to medium plus toast. Some are wave staves. Okay.
Okay. What's the mash bill on this, Mike? You got that?
Let me see if I do have the mash bill on this one. I'm assuming it's close to the other that we have. I don't know that Adam's doing multiple mash bills with the bourbon, because the other bourbon that we've got is 60 white corn, 13 wheat, 17 malted barley.
Okay. I figured this was a wheater. I was going in that direction, but
Adam Stumpf is on the Facebook.
Hey.
Adam, what's the mash bill on the standard Old Monroe bourbon? Which, good job. That's a nice whiskey.
Very much.
$105 with 60-30-10. Okay.
Okay.
Half the wheat being malted. Nice whiskey.
Yeah.
You need to come on the show, Adam.
Yes, sir. Glad to have you anytime.
Yeah. That's really good. That's really good whiskey. I like that a lot. Man, that finish is still going on there. It's just really nice.
I'm getting a little bit of a dried cherry note in there too.
See where comparatively that Rally Point rye was so you said soft, and you could just drink the hell out of that stuff. It forces you to slow down, because there's just there's more flavors on this thing where it really forces you to slow down on what you're doing. So folks, buy Stumpy's Old Monroe single barrel. The bottles will last you twice as long, but you should buy more anyway.
No, it's really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. Adam, we'll reach out and we'll get you some information, and we'll be glad to book you and get you on here. Just love to talk about what you're doing.
Yeah.
And your whiskeys here. One of the things I guess it's starting to come forward to me on this is that, again, it's that kind of cinnamon oatmeal cookie note, but if you were to bake it with dried cherries. Yeah.
Okay.
I really don't even want to move on from this, because it's just...
Yeah, I know.
I'm enjoying this one.
That is good. Well, we can go back to it.
Yeah. Oh, I will. That sample's going to get going fast.
All right. Should we water up and move on to our next Stumpy?
Let's do it.
All right.
That sounds like something we need to find out about. The banana Foster batch.
I did get to try that, and
Did
I
you?
only got to have a little sample of it, but I missed out on getting a bottle. Okay. So these next two that we have are courtesy of one of the nicest people on the planet, Mr. Kevin Rose. And this is a Stumpy's Old Monroe straight bourbon, and this is a barrel proof. And this is the one at 60 white corn, 13 wheat, 17 malted barley at 123 proof.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that. Kevin, maybe one of the nicest guys in whiskey. And just
Damn
one of the
right.
nicest guys, period. So, thank you, Kevin.
Handsome son of a bitch, too.
Yeah, he is. Tom Selleck.
This one's for you, Kevin.
All right, so the nose on this one right off, it reminds me of the Old Monroe. I mean, it's kind of
Yes.
some very similar notes and tones, but it's just the intensity is ratcheted up a little more.
Yes.
More oil, more oily, more depth. I feel like that toasted or kind of a toasted wheat, kind of a toasted bread notes coming through a little bit more.
You know, sometimes when you try something at a higher proof, or you get to nose it, and oh yeah, here we go. You know, or it might make you think a little bit less of the other one.
Right.
Just on the nose alone, this doesn't. The nose, there's such a strong memory of the one we just had
Right.
that this doesn't feel like a replacement or something that overpowers it. This is just like, no, this is just a different whiskey that they have. Yeah, it has those same notes, but it feels warm. I mean, the nose, it's like everything but warmer.
Right. That's a good way to put it. And at 123 proof,
Yeah.
there's a faint hit of ethanol coming off on there, but you can still, man, you can get your nose right in there and go after this
can,
one.
yeah.
'Cause-
And I get more cola on this than I did on the other one.
yeah.
Man, still got really nice grains that come through too. I like that.
It does. Kind of puts me in mind of Alan's Weeder, his Dalton.
Yeah.
And that same, if you've had that or experienced that one, then you know what you're in for with this one.
Have a little bit, maybe a little lemon. Something I was trying to figure out.
Ooh. That's fantastic. I love the way that hits the tongue and the palate right there. There's some nice density to it, but it spreads out really good.
Oh,
I get that classic dark cherry note that you get typically off of a weeder.
it gets oily. It's not oil. It gets oily as it's sitting there.
There's some nice cardamom, a little ginger. A little bit of a white and black cracked pepper spice going on.
All right, there's something that's drying. I gotta pour more.
And I feel
Darn
like
it.
I got, you mentioned that lemon note on the nose. I feel like I got that right across the front of the tongue a little bit when I first took a sip, and then it immediately turned to that cherry note.
Man, it's like opening up a spice cabinet. Boy, that just builds. Wow, I mean that
Yeah.
oiliness builds on it, and then the proof pushes everything out, but the flavor just it builds. Holy shit, that's good.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
There's
Those
a-
flavors kind of stack up dense right on the tongue.
Then there at the
And then they
finish of
start
the end,
to-
I'm getting like a cookie dough. There's almost like a snickerdoodle.
Snickerdoodle.
dough.
Yeah.
Wow. 2 for 2. Nice.
Yep. Fantastic. Second sip, the cinnamon's like coming in even more. That finish is just, it just keeps growing. Like it's just spreading through the mouth. Big cinnamon. I get a little bit of nuttiness, almost like a walnut.
That probably where I get the waxiness I get.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. That's really good whiskey.
Creamy vanilla and leather. Ginger and pepper spice. Yeah, that's outstanding.
So I hope Adam's still hanging out, or Kevin probably knows the answer because Kevin's he's not only handsome but smart, but is wondering with the bourbon going to batching if they'll still continue to do special releases like this one.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's good. It's got a great nose.
Come back to it one more time.
Yeah. I'll hit that again.
Oh, I'd hit it again and again and again. Much like what the Gimp is doing to Patrick tonight.
Literally hitting him over and
Yeah.
over and over again.
It's called flogging.
Yeah.
No, I love how this gets, there's this breadiness, there's this cherry, and then it just quickly shifts over to this huge cinnamon explosion going on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And
That's going to be hard to get that one out.
Yeah.
That's we have to chat and drink some more water to get that one
There you
out.
go.
'Cause, man, that's hanging in there.
All right, so what's everybody out there drinking tonight? We've been talking about what
Man,
all
no
we're
kidding.
sampling here. What are you guys having? It's Friday night. You better be
that's
having
a-
something.
That's a great whiskey.
That is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Anyone drinking anything? But
Don't tell me it's Friday night. You guys are watching the whiskey stream and you're not drinking anything? What is your problem? Good night, Emily Chambers. Catch you on the flip side.
Good night, Emily, wherever you are.
Yeah. Please, Emily, don't hurt him. Too much.
Oh, Neil's having some deer hammer. Nice.
There you go.
All right, I gotta have some more water here.
All right.
So far, I mean, the ones from Still 630. Those are very good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed both of those quite a bit. I'd say definitely worth a trip if you're going to go back through there. The old Stumpies,
My condolences, Adam. I know that. I know that well.
yeah. I mean, I can't imagine I don't think it's too far out. I don't think Columbia is too far out.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think of the route going through / around St. Louis, obviously you have to hit Wood Hat, because why wouldn't you?
Right.
I know there are some other Missouri distilleries up and down from there. Not very familiar with those yet, but definitely you'd have to hit Wood Hat. I would try to pick up some of the Still 630 and just what we're going through Stumpy's. I think that would be a really fun visit to go check out and just look at the facility.
Poor Mitch.
Poor Mitch. Mitch is doing the Lord's work at the
Yeah.
big distillery.
So
All right.
now we're moving on to the straight rye.
Yeah. Big boy rye.
There we go.
72 rye, 25 malted rye, 3 malted barley, 119.6 proof. Once again, courtesy of the lovely and talented Kevin Rose.
Also known as Tom Selleck.
That's right.
Or just Damn It Kevin in other circles.
Have you ever seen Tom Selleck and Kevin standing next to each other? No, you have not.
Nope.
Boy,
This is
that nose
I
is
love
not
rye.
messing around.
yeah. No, I love a good punchy rye, and this is coming through, and
Yes, this is every bit of that.
I can smell the malted rye coming through in this too. Really nice.
It's like the tap on the shoulder. It's like what Patrick's experiencing on a normal Friday night. It's that little tap. It's like, hey, you want to have some fun right now?
Right.
Like that's what this nose is doing.
Before it ties you up and beats the hell out of you. I don't know. This one might. We'll see.
I'm guessing this one's
I'm-
going to hold its own through everything else that we've had.
I'm sure. And which is amazing. Coming off that last one, I was worried, how that was hitting the palate so
Yeah.
good. It's going to be hard
Nah,
to move
this-
on to the next one. But
This nose, it's nothing but business on the nose, man.
I'm getting a little hint of blueberries in here. This is interesting. Through all that rye, there's that eucalyptus. There's black tea.
Yeah, I get the tea. I get a little bit of sweet tea too.
Yeah. So I was about to say it's like a black tea with honey. There's a little bit of a smoky char note to it as well. I'm getting a little bit of a cinnamon candy.
Okay, this is weird. Kind of a nose as it goes across.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a hint of brandy. There's a dryness that I get occasionally when it comes across, where it's like it's dry and now it's not, but it's like dry,
Right.
but dry like
Like the
Dry
way
like
of
a
brandy.
brandy. Yeah.
Kind of that oxidized grape and oak.
Oxidize is a really good word for this. Man, there's just something dry
Yeah.
about it, but it's really exciting.
I'm really that malted rye is really jumping out to me right now at the moment.
God, what is that nose?
That's pretty. Mitch, not a big fan of the malted rye.
Uh-oh. Somebody's apparently tried to burn my house down because the dogs are going crazy. All right, it's time.
Yeah. Oh, dive in on that one, buddy. That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant.
Okay. Only because I've said this one before. Nothing wrong with Pikesville. Absolutely nothing wrong with Pikesville rye. But this is like if you took Pikesville rye and went to charm school. There's a lot of that where it's like there's that aggressiveness, but man, when it hits that palate, it's just it's like, surprise, I'm not going to kill you. We're going to have
Yeah.
a different kind of fun. But
This is like-
wow.
I know a lot of people love to talk mouthfeel. This is like freaking
Get really close when you talk about the mouthfeel.
We get that Barry White voice going on here.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, baby. This is like breaking out the satin sheets. It just so velvety smooth.
Oh, alrighty.
It's like, I'm sitting here thinking, I got that scene from Coming to America, you know, what is this, velvet? It's like a soft, velvety feel.
Yes, it is.
And you expect it, you nose it, and you expect this is going to come out and kind of get rough with you with those big rye notes, but it's not at all. It's just everything is really soft and rounded, just dense, rich flavors. It's start breaking this down.
It is the flavor when that flavor hits my tongue. It's like the flavor is in a very, very soft blanket.
Right.
That's just laying down on there. That is, I did not expect that from the nose at all.
No.
I was expecting more aggression. This is just.
Oh, it's a blanket is a good way to put it. Yeah, it's seductive.
This is a sultry, seductive rye whiskey.
Right, it is.
Damn.
And it blankets the mouth. I'm getting like this really nice orange oil note to it. There's some
sinking.
There's some cinnamon. There's the classic eucalyptus, even with a little bit of dill going on there. There's this honey sweetness to it.
All right, I'm getting a note that I know it's wrong, but I'm going to say it anyway. Life cereal.
Holy crap! But you're right. I used to eat that as a kid sometimes, so I know exactly what you're talking about. You're dead on.
Shit, I want more of this whiskey. That's just
yeah.
That I think we definitely picked the right progression to go through, and
right.
I'm not saying that we picked a progression like we got better. I just think we picked the right flavor progression to go through.
Exactly.
I'm very happy with all 5 of these that we have had. This has been good. This is a hell of a one to end on.
And Kevin, you're spot on, because my immediate impression as soon as I sipped this the first time was this is like a really nice whistle pig, but even better. And that's exactly
from the good part of Canada.
Yeah. No, that's a good way to put it. I can definitely see where this could win in a blind test, a blind tasting on that. Mm-hmm. So this is I'd go ahead and tell you right here, this bottle's getting set aside because this is going to be Rye Whiskey of the Year candidate.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah,
100%.
Yep. It's just that freaking good.
We might have to do some
put together
mid-year awards because
yeah,
I don't know how much that's going to last.
I'm gonna have to lock it away.
That was a really good way to. It's cut through. It's cut through everything we've had. There's a nice build-up on there. But man, I love the difference between the nose and the palate on that, just because you're not getting slapped around.
Right.
You're not. I don't know. There's an analogy I could use that I'm not gonna, because it's probably not right. But it'd be like, you go into a date with a certain expectation, and then and then you find out it's even better.
It's even better. Yeah.
Because it's like, guess what? There's brains and and she likes everything you like.
Right.
Like, it's better.
Right.
Anyway.
I get it.
Or
I
how
get
about
that.
this is the whiskey you marry? How's that? Anyway, yeah, this is really good. Enjoy it. I'm nosing the blend now.
Ooh, moved on to there.
But I do need to actually. I need to have a lot more water.
Yeah. No, Adam, seriously, every one of these has been absolutely exceptional whiskeys.
Yes.
Really well done, really well put together. And the rye is, as good as they all were, the rye is an absolute standout. And I'm dead serious. That's going straight to where I set aside. We taste these whiskeys and we put put aside certain ones to go back to for whiskey of the year at the end of the year, and this rye is going right there. That's setting a high bar.
I'm marking mine right now. Just in case. Yeah. Very well done. I enjoyed those whiskeys quite a bit.
I'm liking the nose on this blend so far.
Yeah, I nosed it a couple times.
That's coming across nice.
Yeah, so Adam, we have a tradition of whatever we drink for the night, we put a little bit in the glass and have that as a blend at the end of the night. And most times it's a pretty darn good blend. So this is the Still 630 SS Sorghum, the standard Rally Point Rye, Stumpy's Old Monroe single barrel 90 proof, Stumpy's Old Monroe bourbon at 123, and then the rye that we just had, Stumpy's Rye at 119.6 blended together.
I get a little bit of the sorghum coming through in this. The rye kind of takes center stage for the most part, but it's also rounded out by some of the bourbons. But it just blends together really well. I would absolutely just drink this on its own.
You could drink the hell out of that. That drink's way too easy for what's in it.
Mm-hmm. Which might be trouble for Patrick.
Oh, God, Patrick.
Yeah, buddy, you're not on here tonight, so we're going to give you a hard time.
Yeah.
That's right.
Guys, Patrick does the dumbest shit. It's live. He can't edit this.
Nope, that's right. We're going to spill all your secrets from the Kentucky trip, buddy.
I was reading. Where all I'll say is, it's like, where have you been? I was reading.
Yeah. Reading what?
Why are your pants wet up to the knees? What?
Good times. Thank you, Patrick, for the laughs. There's a lot of things that happen in Indiana that will stay in Indiana, but some of these stories will get told one day.
That blends together and becomes mild.
It does.
That really does. I mean, for considering everything that's in there, the flavors come out. It's very. I'd imagine if we let this thing sit a lot, it would probably marry together even better. But man, for those 5 that are in there, that drink's mild. Holy, it
does. A lot of the flavors are kind of tamped down, but it's just really pleasant. And yes, Mark, it's just the two of us. We took over tonight. We kicked Patrick to the curb. We gave him a good curb stomping and told him, no, you cannot come on tonight because the whiskeys are so good. You're just going to miss out, buddy. Sorry.
Yep. He does have them all.
Yeah.
So he can try them on his own.
Yep.
And I got an update for everyone who cares because, we're doing a St. Louis stream, so everybody cares. The Royals are currently trailing the Detroit Tigers, so that might please some people. But there's still time.
No, actually, Mark, the Gimp got him and wouldn't let him go, so he couldn't come on tonight. Good night, Adam. Thanks for jumping in here with us, and thanks for some fantastic spirits, buddy. That's
absolutely
exceptional.
We'll be hitting you up to come on. That'd be great.
And if you know our show, we don't bullshit. We don't pull punches. We're going to tell you exactly what we think. I don't care who you are. But
ask
that's
Kevin.
legitimately, yeah. That's legitimately.
Kevin is nice, handsome, and honest.
Right. That's delicious. That's just flat out delicious. That might be one of the better blends we've had in a while too, honestly.
Boy,
We've
the
had
grain
some
does
good
come
ones.
back through there. I mean,
Yeah.
it hits. The grain comes through, but yeah, I think that ranks up there with one of the blends that's 20, 30 minutes from now.
Right.
To be like, hey, you remember what you just had? I'm back. Yeah.
Coming after you. AJ, hey, buddy. Welcome to the end of the show.
It was good. No, I mean, good on St. Louis. These were all good.
Yep.
They were all good pickups. I don't regret buying in the three that I got, and we sure as hell thank Kevin for the two that he sent us, because man, those are great.
They're fantastic. St. Louis, you represented well tonight, guys. So
You did the state proud.
yeah.
Both ends of the state. Rest of it,
Yeah. Yeah, I've driven through Missouri a few times. I understand that sentiment.
there's especially driving. You get outside of Kansas City and you start going towards or get closer to Columbia, whatever, and you see all the billboards that Patrick loves, for all the adult bookstores,
Right.
one after another.
After
Just going,
another.
it's like, God,
Right.
how many times is Patrick gonna stop? Anyway,
Yeah, it's
I guess we're in every VIP program for adult bookstores, you gotta stop. Some people shop for whiskey, some people shop for adult books. Cheers
and
to
then
Patrick.
there's Patrick, who shops for both. Welcome to Late Night with My Whiskey Den. Shit's about to get real.
Yep. That is a really good blend. I enjoyed that.
That's
quite a bit.
fantastic. Yeah.
Wow.
So every single one of these, I'd be happy to have in my cabinet.
Yeah.
Happy to pull out and sip at some point and share.
Sadly, 4 of the 5 not going to be able to repeat.
Right.
Well, who knows? They can make the sorghum again, and I'm assuming there'll be a good level of consistency on there.
Right.
But yeah, the single barrel Old Monroe and then the other 2 barrel proof. We got what we got, but
We might not let Patrick back on. What are you talking about? No.
it just depends if they drop the charges or not.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many places I could go
I know.
with this right now. I'm trying to be good. Trying to.
All right, I'm gonna finish with a little bit of the standard Old Monroe, so I can save those
Okay.
2 single barrels. So that was a really, really, really good choice. So, and while we're doing this and nose and stuff, just so everybody knows what's going on, this coming Monday we have Old Crow Night.
Yep.
I don't know if you've got the stuff for that coming up, but we're gonna
Hang on
have
a second.
We're gonna have some old crows. We've got Ben procured some sample or the mini bottles of Old Crow that according to the dates on there, they date no newer than 72. And for people that don't know, and you should know, back in the day, Old Crow, to put it no other way, Old Crow was the shit. Old Crow was really good whiskey. Nothing wrong with it now. I'm a fan of it, but Old Crow was it was the stuff. And so we've got that Old Crow that we'll have. Obviously, you're not going to have one of those to try with us, but pull out some Old Crow and have that with us. And if you've
Right.
got, if you by chance have some other Old Crows, which I do, I'm going to pull those out so we can have that as well. So we'll have Old Crow Night, and then Memorial Day we're going to do a sample kill. Just try to get rid of some stuff. Excuse me, and then on the 7th, speaking of Old Crow, June 7th, Glens Creek that we got to visit, which is on the grounds of the old Old Crow facility, and
Yep.
they have. Yes, it's a nerd thing. Some people don't care about talking about yeast strings and whatever, but we do, damn it. So we're going to talk
That's
about
right.
yeast strings. Glens Creek has the old yeast strain from Old Crow, and we got to try all their whiskeys, including they do have some stuff that they don't distill. But man, the stuff that they distill, that's some good stuff. It was really good whiskeys. Yeah, and that's going to be really fun.
I will say this: we got to experience. We got to already cracked one of these and tried it out. Got to taste it, and I'm no expert, but I'm going to say that those guys have the yeast strain, because you can taste the continuity of flavors from this to what they're distilling now.
Yes.
There's some, again, a continuity that goes through there. And we got to try an even older Old Crow while we were in Kentucky.
Yes, we did.
And again, that continuity of flavor is there. So, and I think we get these guys on, it's going to be a fantastic story, interesting about how they're reclaiming that facility, and when they got in there, what they found, how they were able to procure the yeast. So I think that's going to be a fantastic night. And I look at this almost like an extension of our trip to Kentucky, because some of the people we've got lined up coming up throughout June is we're taking a bit of a deep dive, if you will, into Kentucky craft whiskey. And there's bluegrass distillers are coming on. There's Kentucky Artisan, who is there. You know the name Jefferson, Jefferson Bourbon, but do you know that it's being produced by a craft distiller in Kentucky? And plus they've got some other projects they're doing. So I think we got an exciting month ahead of us, and looking forward to it, guys. So be sure to tune in for that.
The Kentucky Artisan, that's going to be another Friday show.
Yeah.
So, but I think we'll be on better behavior.
We should be.
But we'll have another close by one on the 4th. June 4th will be Kentucky Artisan. The 7th will be Glens Creek. The bluegrass distilling is going to be on the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got another big man, Jason Bronner from Bourbon's Bistro and Buzzard Juice Whiskeys. He is going to be on the 21st. And so we got everybody booked out that far. Jason Bronner is going to be a lot of fun, along with his the Buzzard Juice Whiskeys, which are really good. He's also very well known for being good at doing some barrel picks. So that should be a lot of fun. And we got to all meet Mitch at
That's right.
Bourbon's Bistro when we were there. So that was awesome.
There you go. Had a great time hanging out with Mitch.
Yeah. And Gil commented on Facebook said that they're going to trying to get some Stumpy's Rye to get, I think it's great. You should get Stumpy's Rye.
Yeah.
Since you're not going that far outside, if you haven't had it, have them search out some Wood Hat too. We loves us some Wood Hat.
That's right.
And Wood Hat's first bottled in bond is now released, so you should be able to pick that up as well. All right. Just going back and nosing on the old Monroe single barrel, man, that nose holds up.
It does. It really does. Even I'm nosing it right next to the barrel strength single barrel, and it's holds up well. It's beautiful.
It does.
So get you some Stumpies, folks.
Yeah.
And
get some Still 630, get some Stumpies.
Yep.
Get your Missouri Freak on.
There you go. So with that, you ready to call it a night, bud?
I think I'm ready to call it a night. We don't want to get out of control
here.
Yeah.
All right.
Royals are winning.
Oh, they're ahead now. There you go.
Royals.
So we'll end on that note. Good evening, folks. Thanks for tuning into My Whiskey Den, where craft whiskey is king. And cheers, guys. Hope y'all have a great evening and a great weekend.
Thank you as always. We appreciate it.
Let's get into it. 1, 2, 3. Just give me some more. Have it in. Some more. Just give me some more.